Hello truck camper friends, Charlie Crushane here doing another mod. We've noticed a sewer smell on occasion coming from in our camper, which is coming ultimately from the black tank. If we go dry camping for 5, 6, 7 days, you can start to smell it regardless of chemicals or extra water. It's almost impossible to keep completely out. So one thing I've researched and found is something called a 360 sewer vent. 360 siphon sewer vent. Now this has a shape sort of like a wing that will create suction and keep a positive suction on your tank, as opposed to the standard vent that you see here. Now, as you can see here, I've also, not only did it have the die-core on it, I also put a turn-up-on tape, so my job is going to be a little harder to get this off. But my goal is to take that old cap off and put this new one on. So we'll see how it goes. First thing we have to do, let's get this off. That comes off easy enough. Problem is getting off this piece. I guess the first thing is I have to cut off as much of turn-up-on tape as I put on. And this stuff is designed not to come off. So I'm just going to cut around the perimeter for now. That should be big enough for this. Gotta be careful not to cut the roof. Now to take out the screws. There's a bunch of screws around here. I have to take them off, but I'll need them again. There's one, two, there we go. Now to try to pry this cap off. Here we are. Here's the old one. Now to clean this up, here we go. Now I'll just clean this up before I install the new one. Now what they say is you're only supposed to have 5/8 of an inch sticking or less above the roof, 5/8 of an inch. Well, I have 1.5. So I'm going to have to cut this down to 5/8. Which is about there. And then you put this in there. And what that does is when you put this on, there's like a little mesh in here to keep bugs out. But also if any water goes in, it will go down the pipe. Whereas if you didn't have this and you had this, water could get in here and around the pipe. We don't want that. So after you cut it, you put this on. So, next thing to do is cut this pipe, 5/8 of an inch. Now I have my vibration tool, multi-tool. This should make easy work of this versus a hacksaw. A lot of people use a hacksaw to cut this, but I'm going to use my vibration tool. There we go. Now with this on, this flange needs to touch down here. Perfect. And it fits right along the existing cutout I made. That's going to be beautiful. All right. They provide you with this sealer that you put around the bottom here. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Now before I put this on, I want to, I think, seal around here. Because nothing will go there. This is about as big as this thing that goes over it. So I'm going to put a little die-core right around there, just in case. Alright, I have some die-core lap sealant that I'm now going to put around right where this tube comes out. There we go. And I put this in. And then this goes on. After I put this on, I will die-core all around all the screws. And that looks good. Alright, now to put the screws back in that came out, what I found is you need a long extension because this distance is so high. So that's my tidbit for the day. There we go. Now to just double check. Dicor around the whole edge here and over these screws, and that should make it completely watertight. There you go. Well done. Now, as the wind is coming over this and through, you can suck the fumes up and out of the RV. And hopefully this will solve our troubles.